There's a huge Nintendo game dropping today and a huge leaked game dropping early 2024 that could really set the stage for Nintendo in an absolutely massive way. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. My mugs are missing. Where did they go? I'm Zach from SwitchForce. Hope you guys are doing well. Big games dropped today in the form of Zelda, Oracle of Ages, and Oracle of Seasons. Ironically, even though these are very ancient Game Boy Color games, they're going to be some of the biggest releases of the summer for Nintendo fans. The trailer proves it, as it's already racked up over 500,000 views, and in comparison to every other trailer that's come out in the last 2 weeks, nothing really comes close. It shows how much Zelda fandom is at a high point right now, thanks to Tears of the Kingdom. I posted a 20-minute video last night checking out Oracle of Seasons, which is my pick of the two after doing some research. You can play both games. They're sort of similar, their own adventures, but they do link up, and it's great to see that we're getting new free Zelda as long as you're a Switch Online subscriber. So both those games are out, and I think even though it's just like a Game Boy Online drop, somehow because it's Zelda games that fans have wanted for a long time, it adds a lot to the system. It's two Zelda games at once, and it's two that many people haven't played. It's two that hold up to this day as they are top-down adventures, and we know Link to the Past works so well, even in 2023, and Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, both games maybe not as coveted or as beloved as Link to the Past, but both have a similar top-down aesthetic, and even though have worse graphics, there's a charm to the Game Boy Color visuals all their own. I highly recommend you go grab these if you have a Switch Online membership, and if you don't, maybe this is the time to get in. For $20 a year, there's a bunch of good stuff, but there's also more coming, and this next one would be far bigger. It's not Switch Online, it's not even confirmed for Switch. It actually comes from Mochizuki, who is the Bloomberg boy who talked about Switch Pro a few years ago. Now, if you're going to be getting today's games and early next year's games, you're going to want a memory card to save them all on, because that Switch storage goes fast, and the Lexar Play card is the best memory card. It is fast, it's safe, and it gets really big. You can get a 1 terabyte card that'll save all your Switch games for now and pretty much forevermore. Fantastic card, fantastic prices. Click the link in the description down below to get a nice spicy discount deal, and every time you click the link, it helps support the channel, so I'd super appreciate it. Now, he's got a really interesting scoop from Capcom saying in their financial report, they say that they plan to release one unannounced game that will sell millions by March 2024. And so this is the internet all sorts of sleuthing, trying to figure out what Capcom will be releasing. And it actually links heavily to Nintendo, and that's why I find this to be so exciting, and I want to fill you in. Capcom has been insanely successful as of late, right? They've had a lot of big hits, and they found a way to really strongly bring back IP in the form of remakes. They're one of the best in the business at doing that, and their Resident Evil franchise is perfect proof. RE2 remake, RE3 remake, RE4 remake, all super strong, and they're even finding success with their new Resident Evils. They've got Mega Man, they've got Devil May Cry, they've got Monster Hunter. Now, Monster Hunter World debuted in 2018 and revolutionized not only the franchise, but the popularity. It sold incredibly well, and us Switch fans felt incredibly left out. You see, we had some Monster Hunter games on Switch, but they were of the old type. They were basically the 3DS game ported over to Switch, and they felt antiquated and old, whereas Monster Hunter World was a brand new take. Monster Hunter World went on to sell insanely well, like 18 million copies, and Nintendo finally got a piece of the pie with Monster Hunter Rise in 2021. Now, this was a phenomenal release in March for Nintendo Switch. Some of, if not the best graphics on the system, awesome online multiplayer, and a very fleshed out campaign that felt a lot like Monster Hunter World. They brought in the Sunbreak DLC and it expanded the game even further, and now we've got Capcom saying there's going to be an unannounced game coming out by March. And a lot of people are pointing towards Monster Hunter. Now, how this links to Nintendo is it could be one of two things. It could be Monster Hunter Rise 2, 3 years after the original, a perfect amount of time to craft a sequel. Or it could be Monster Hunter World 2. That's really what everyone's been waiting for, because it's been 6 years. It'll be about 6 years in early 2024 since the 2018 launch. Now, there was the Iceborne expansion a little bit later, but that was an expansion, and then Rise did get ported over, but that was a port. No new big next-gen Monster Hunter. Could this be the thing? And you might be asking yourself, well, that sounds like a PS5, Xbox Series X game, but let's tie this into all the stuff we've heard about Switch 2 as of late, right? The early 2024 timeframe. We know Monster Hunter is insanely successful in Japan and has a humongous following over there. A lot of times with console launches, Nintendo does like to prioritize their homeland, and what better way than with a Monster Hunter title to show off the power of the Switch 2? Wouldn't this be the ideal scenario and absolutely mega if Nintendo was able to snipe a Monster Hunter World 2 version for Switch 2 that ran pretty comparable to its PlayStation and Xbox counterparts because they have new hardware, new tech, and DLSS? They could make a Monster Hunter World 2 work. It could be a significant upgrade over Rise, but still provide that awesome, sexy, amazing portable play for a franchise that is perfect for on the go. I think this would be amazing, and if Nintendo is able to launch with a massive third-party title, who knows how far this system can go. I think in order to get conversions from Switch 1 to Switch 2 immediately out of the gate, outside of the extreme hardcore, you will need big, bold titles. And if Monster Hunter World 2 is like a third-party exclusive to Switch 2, I don't think Nintendo would do that. I think if they put out a Mario or a Metroid, it'll be cross. But maybe Monster Hunter World 2 just couldn't run on Switch. And it's a third-party exclusive to get you in on that more expensive, much more powered Nintendo Switch 2. I think that would be incredible. And if we look at what Capcom could have that sells millions, Monster Hunter fits the bill. I don't think it's time for another Resident Evil. They just dropped 4, and we know the next is still years off. They have other franchises like DMC, but is that really going to be a big millions seller right out the gate? Mega Man comes to mind as sort of a new Mega Man title, possibly could push that many units, especially if it was across many platforms. But if it was Mega Man, it will include Switch. Mega Man's included Switch throughout the entire generation, thank goodness. One of my favorite gaming franchises that began when I was just a small boy. I do believe this is Monster Hunter. That's where I'd put my marbles, but I do want to put Mega Man out there as sort of the second choice. I don't know, something about this seems like Mega Man could be ready, and that would be, I think, a multi-million seller based on the nostalgia, the history, and just the fanfare around the franchise. But could this be tying together to be a massive third-party launch? Nintendo dropped really fun, exciting games for Switch today, and they could be working on a very exciting, huge Switch 2 game for March of next year. It would coincide with the rumors about the launch timing for the next console. We know that Capcom loves Nintendo. We know that Monster Hunter Rise performed incredibly well, pushing over 12 million units on Nintendo Switch, and it only launched 3 years ago. Who knows what it's at by now, especially with Sunbreak. This could be Monster Hunter heaven, and this could be an unstoppable launch lineup if it merges Mario with Monster Hunter or Metroid with Monster Hunter, providing a wide variety of games for a wide variety of fans, but especially appealing to those over in Japan to really crush it in its opening salvo. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Would you be excited for a new Monster Hunter experience on Switch after Rise? Maybe one that does borrow more from World and brings in even better graphics. Let me know your take in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. SwitchForce out.